Hello and welcome to the Narc Alert, the channel where we look at YouTubers and others to see if they demonstrate any traits that fall within the spectrum of narcissistic personality disorder or NPD. These videos are for fun and entertainment purposes only, strictly my opinion, and remember, please don't send any snark to our possible narcs. So key points to remember: messy fun and not a diagnosis. I hope everyone is off to a great week. As promised in this video, we will look at part 2 of Tana. This story gets interesting because, as it turns out, much of what happened wasn't actually Tana's fault, and VidCon did apologize. Of course, we're more interested in behavior than right or wrong, so let's finish this up, and then please, let's never speak of it again.
And so after the panel, I leave, and everyone else that I'm on the panel with, I think it was like Matthew Santoro and a few other people, I can't remember. They were all there with my network as well, but they were all featured creators. So after the panel was over, they were allowed to leave behind the stage and take the back tunnels back to their hotel room and get safely up to their room. But of course, I wasn't a featured creator, and I didn't have that stupid little badge, so security wouldn't let me go behind there, so I just had to walk out of the panel into the crowd. There was nothing else I could do. They wouldn't let me back behind the curtain, they wouldn't let me in the secret tunnels, whatever, so I had to walk out into the crowd of all of my fans, which I'm fine with, but VidCon thinks that's a safety hazard.
To be fair, this is a fail on VidCon's part. I understand not wanting to make her a featured creator. That said, there should have been security there for her. They had her on a panel and they knew her popularity.
So immediately, that's where anyone with two brain cells would say, okay, this girl can't walk into this crowd of 500 people without causing a fire hazard or a safety hazard or what our event is against, so let's give her this dumb little piece of plastic so that she can walk behind the curtain and walk through the halls and get somewhere safely. But VidCon wouldn't do that. Can you tell I'm getting angrier?
VidCon should have escorted her to safety. VidCon doesn't have to give her a creator badge if they do not want her as a representative of their brand. Of course, Tana is very special and spiraling, watching all her friends get what she has decided she deserves.
It gets way worse. So I walk out into the crowd just trying to leave, get in a car, go back to my hotel, because I knew that if I stayed there and tried to meet everyone and caused a big mob, that VidCon would ban me and they would hate me, and I was still so afraid of them, and I wanted to be a featured creator so desperately bad. Even if I couldn't do it this year, I wanted it so bad next year that I was too scared to say or do anything.
In life, we often have to compromise to get what we want. We follow rules to earn privileges. Most of us would do whatever VidCon wanted, happily, to get that chance next year. Tana feels entitled to it. She shows a lot of grandiosity and an inflated sense of self-importance.
So I walk out into the crowd and immediately a giant mob starts, and I'm just trying to run and maneuver my way through the mob, and I get down to the bottom of the convention center, and when I'm going down this escalator to leave, I look down and I notice people waiting at the bottom, like people who didn't have the panel passes and couldn't come up to see my panel, chanting, "Tana, Tana, Tana." I have goosebumps. I've literally, like, going down this escalator, people holding up signs that say happy birthday and throwing flowers and have balloons and all that kind of stuff. And I get down to the bottom, obviously I can't escape it. What the fuck am I gonna do? Run back up this escalator moving down with people all behind me? No. What am I gonna do? Leave and go through the featured creator hallways? Oh wait, I can't. And of course, I want to be in this crowd of people. I want to meet my fans. I want to hang out with people who love me, to have one good birthday in my entire life.
She is at the top of an escalator and sees a large crowd gathering. Although it is a fail of VidCon, at this point, any responsible person would not go and engage the mob. She's been told no less than 3 times about this, and she wants to have the privilege of featured creator next year. Narcissists are very special and entitled. It is her birthday, and she wants to be in that crowd and feel adored. So that's exactly what she will do.
I get down into this crowd of people, and the second I get down there, I stop and I look around and I'm like, look, in my head to myself, no matter what, VidCon's gonna be so mad at this crowd of people around me, and they're gonna blame me, and they're gonna tell me it's a safety hazard, even though I was supposed to be here, and even though all of this could have been avoided with a featured creator badge. No matter what, they're gonna be angry. I might as well enjoy this moment.
Actually, all of this could have been avoided had she followed the rules and spoke to them about security, as clearly she was drawing unmanageable crowds. She, however, will do whatever it takes to get her way. She will not be denied her adoration.
I might as well do what I came here to do, even if I get kicked out, and even if it's my last time. I might as well enjoy this moment. And so I walked down into this crowd, and immediately everyone around me started saying, "Happy birthday to you." I literally can't even hold it. And I'm vlogging, turning around in circles, everyone's screaming, everyone's freaking out, all my fans are holding me, my manager's recording it. It was absolutely insane. And the second that happy birthday is over, I just feel two arms grab me. First of all, that's just wrong. But we won't even get into that. Of these two giant men, VidCon security, and they take me away and they're like, "You need to get the off the premises now, let's go, let's go. What did we tell you? What did we tell you? What did we tell you?" I'm in the middle of crying about how happy I am of what just happened and all the people loving me and supporting me. And those tears instantly just roll over into, "God damn it, are you kidding me?" And so they pull me into this room and they sit me down on a couch, and I'm trying to talk to these security guards, and I'm like, "Listen, this is so insane. If you don't want this mob to happen, give me that badge." I don't even know what to say anymore. There's a simple solution.
Of course, she has no thoughts of feelings for what others have put into this or what it would take to get her a badge mid-convention. The simple solution, of course, is to give in to her and give her what she is demanding.
The security guards won't even talk to me. They're not responding to anything I'm saying. I'm sitting there with my manager. He's like, "Everything's gonna be okay." He's trying to talk to them. And this little brunette lady walks in the room. She's dressed to the nines, high heels on, straight out of a movie, straight out of evil bitch villain vibe. She walks into the room. She looks at me and she's like, "Hi, I've had my team tell you several times that you can't be here. Everything you do is a hazard. I don't care if it's your birthday. I don't care that you were just on some panel with your network. I don't care that 500 people were upstairs waiting to listen to you talk at that panel. You're not a featured creator at my event, and you need to get the out." And I'm not gonna lie, immediately my heartbreak turns into anger and frustration. And I'm like, I don't understand the amount of people in that panel combined and the amount of people at the end of that escalator, not to mention all the people who were mobbing me in the hotel lobby earlier and all of the other people I've been meeting. If tons of people at this event want to meet me and take a photo with me just like all of the other featured creators, and you are so worked up about how much of a hazard this is, even though when the featured creators get mobbed you don't do shit, why don't you just make me one? Even if you don't like me, even if you don't think I'm good enough, even if you don't think my content is good enough, it would solve.
Her sense of entitlement is unlike any I have seen. The woman running the event has told you, you are not wanted here now. You have broken the rules too many times. And yet she still feels so justified in her entitlement, she is shouting down the woman in charge of her
just
fate.
up there, I could have done that panel, turned around. I'm getting so angry. I could have walked behind the scenes, gone through the tunnels, and not caused anything. But you don't care, and you don't want to do that.
Once again, this was a mistake on VidCon's side, absolutely. The CEO of VidCon later said as much. This mistake doesn't justify her behavior at all. This all have been handled so differently had she tried to work with them instead of causing trouble.
And she looks at me and she's like, "Listen, as much as you want to be a featured creator, you're not one. I don't care about your fans. I don't care that you're trying to meet them. I don't care that they're trying to meet you. They can meet the hundreds of other featured creators that we chose, and you can get the off my property. And if you do it again, not only will we ban you from VidCon forever, but we will charge you with several counts of trespassing." And I just look at her. I start bawling my eyes out. I mean, I'm fucking 17. I just want to meet my fans.
Right from the original Narcissist playbook. When you really aren't going to win and get your way, cry victim.
I'm Laura Chernikoff, CEO of VidCon. I want to cry just thinking about it, just thinking about the way that woman spoke to me, the shit that she said. How dare you run a company scamming people based off of creators meeting their fans, and then you're gonna look at a creator that you told could be a featured creator.
This is hard to really get into without receipts. We have no idea if VidCon promised her this and reneged, or if she made an assumption. Regardless, they aren't scamming anyone simply because she isn't a featured creator.
Do you let tweet about it and build up all the anticipation? You let me tweet hundreds of times, "I'm coming to VidCon, they're gonna make me a featured creator," so all of my fans would buy tickets to your event and give you money so that you can stand there in those stupid Louboutins. But you don't care about me, and you don't care about my fans, you don't care about the money that you took from them, and you don't care. You don't care that I want to meet my fans, you don't care that my fans want to meet me, you don't give a about anything.
It must be hard for narcissists when the world won't give them their due. It's true, they do not care about her. They are not her friend or family. It is a business that chose to not feature her.
You money-hungry, conniving, manipulative, stupid snake, Laura Chernikov. And so I don't say anything. I just bawl my eyes out. She then gets on her little walkie-talkie, asks for 4 or 5 more VidCon security guards. Like I'm like some kind of rhinoceros bitch that's gonna like get a fucking axe hammer out and start swinging. Like you need 5 security guards.
Histrionics and lies are like breathing to narcissists. I'm certain the security was added because she was drawing large, unmanageable crowds, and it was for everyone's safety. Of course, she will make it all about her and what a victim she was at that point.
To take me somewhere. She orders an SUV and she says, come with me. And so my manager's trying to talk to her, he's trying to reason with her, he's trying to ask her why they won't just make me a featured creator, whatever. And she basically keeps saying now as we're walking, maybe if she's good and if next year around this time she still has the same amount of followers or high demand, we'll make her a featured creator. Maybe if she's good, if she leaves right now and she gets off the premises and stops causing this hazard or whatever it may be, maybe we'll make her one next year. And so I'm bawling my eyes out, but I'm just trying to tell myself, yo, you still got to meet your fans. You still got to have a good time. You still got to do that panel. You never thought you would even be able to go to VidCon. Be happy with this. And she's telling you that next year there's a giant chance you're going to be a featured creator.
So this sounds like a win to me. Despite her repeatedly disrespecting the con and its rules, they are escorting her out safely. She still got to do what she wanted, and she may return next year. Of course, we know this isn't it.
And so as we're walking out, these 5 security guards are around me. She's talking on her walkie-talkie. Everyone is ignoring us too. There's all these people that are walking with us that work with VidCon and security guards, and I'm walking with them just trying to be like, I'm so sorry if I did anything to upset you guys. I didn't know that it was like this. Clearly there's some greater reason. And
of course, there must be some greater reason for her having to leave. Small little victim narcissist who never did anything wrong. It cannot be that she is not a featured creator, was asked to not cause a scene multiple times, and she continued to do just that.
I don't want to get banned, I don't want to get charged with trespassing, etc. And as I'm talking to all these people, they're just looking at me, ignoring me. It's like they wanted to make me feel like scum, like trash, like somebody who caused a disturbance in their event, even though their event is based upon creators meeting their fans.
Anyone who has worked security or event staff must be having a little giggle. Yes, you are nothing but a pain in the butt at that point. You've disrespected them over and over and still feel as if they should be on your side on the way out the door. You aren't special. You're an incident report.
Someone who's like doing something wrong even though I don't understand how it was at all. And if what I was doing was wrong, if walking places and getting mobbed was so wrong, it would be 10 times easier to just let me walk in other places that are secret that won't cause safety hazards and fire hazards. But the thing that's so crazy to me is when featured creators walk out and cause a mob, they just let it happen. It's not a fire hazard anymore. It's not a safety hazard anymore. They're so sweet to them. I don't understand, you know?
She truly cannot see why she should not be treated the same as people chosen to be featured creators.
She's causing something else again, and she wants to be a featured creator. Like, just evil, evil. I don't call anyone evil, but I mean evil. And so I walk up to the SUV, I get in the car, I'm bawling my eyes out all the way back to my hotel. My manager has to stay at VidCon because he has other clients there and all that kind of stuff. I go back to the hotel. It's my birthday. Hundreds of people are tweeting me like, Tana, I'm at VidCon. Where are you? I want to meet you. I thought that you were going to be able to meet us. And I'm too scared to tell anyone what really just happened. If I went in the car to outside of the VidCon Convention Center, people would come up to the car and I was still meeting hella people, but I didn't get to go inside VidCon, and it was now time to leave. And I can't lie, leaving that VidCon, it was still the best birthday of my life. I had only ever had horrible birthdays to compare it to. And obviously those moments of my fans singing me happy birthday and that kind of stuff was incredible, and I'm not gonna let Laura's bitch ass ruin that for me. But obviously, it's like a little kid finding out fucking Santa Claus isn't real. You know, you're leaving this event that you just spent the last 5 years of being so obsessed with, thinking that it's all unicorns and rainbows and amazing, and it's none of that. It's this big paraded show that VidCon puts on to make everyone in the world think that, so they spend hundreds of dollars buying tickets.
VidCon is a way for fans to meet creators. It is also a huge convention for advertisers and sponsors. It is a business. It is created to make money, not just narcissist fuel.
All. They want to take your money and they want you to do as little as possible there. And I heard it myself with my own 2 ears from the CEO and creator of the company.
I suspect if the CEO did indeed say, "I don't care if you meet your fans," it wasn't about the concept as a whole for VidCon. It was directed at Tana's use of this as a reason to give her access. So, not a lie, but she will spin it until she is the victim.
Jesus Christ. And this is 1/10 of the story. And so I leave VidCon. I'm still too scared to tweet about it at all. My manager reaches out to VidCon, apologizes upon my behalf. I'm apologizing, even though I didn't really do anything wrong.
Remember, narcissists don't make mistakes. It doesn't matter that she was told at least 3 times to stop. She felt entitled to it, so it was not wrong in her mind.
And so after apologizing to VidCon, they flipped the switch. No one's talking to Laura, really. Other people at VidCon are reaching out to Jordan, basically just saying, we ran out of space. We didn't realize there was such a high demand for Tana. We'll make sure that next year, if everything is along the same track, she's a featured creator. We know that she and her fans are going to have a way better experience. Thank you for being so understanding and actually leaving. I'm like, all this kind of stuff.
It sounds as if the people at VidCon realized their error, apologized, and made up for it. The CEO of VidCon even made this public statement.
So I kind of think things are chill again. I'm excited for next year where I'm going to be a featured creator. I got this little taste of the incredible part of meeting my fans and all of the fun, cool stuff like that of VidCon. Obviously, the experience as a whole wasn't amazing because of the way that I was treated, but I was under the impression if I come back next year as a featured creator, everything will be fine. So the rest of the year goes by. I continue to grow. I go on tour. So many amazing things happen. It's now February or March, and VidCon is basically telling my manager and me everything is good to go. Tana's gonna be a featured creator. She can tell her fans she's going to VidCon. We're super excited to have her on her birthday, blah, 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 blah. And so I'm tweeting every day, pretty much. Like, I can't wait for VidCon. VidCon on my birthday this year is gonna be even more incredible than last year. I can't wait to celebrate my birthday with the people who love me. Like, anytime someone would tweet me, like, I wanna go to VidCon to meet you, I would quote it and be like, do it, let's go. And think about that. Like, I forgave the way Laura treated me. I got over that bad experience. I kept it a secret. Me, the story timer, the ranter, the person who tells everything to her fans.
People with NPD need constant admiration. Here, we have to see what a special person she is for forgiving the CEO for her mistakes. She takes zero ownership in the trouble she caused. In her mind, it was justified, and she is full of narcissist fuel, feeling that she beat VidCon.
Banned from the event and all that crazy stuff. I would have much rather just been made a featured creator, had a great time, let the past be the past, celebrated my birthday, stayed right under VidCon's thumb, and continued to be their little puppet promoting their event so my fans will buy their tickets, whatever. And so here is where this goes from a story rant to just pure, solidified, insane anger. March/April rolls around. I get the amazing opportunity to be in Joey Graceffa's Escape the Night, a YouTube Red series. I'm very lucky to be one of the characters on that show. Incredible. After Escape the Night wraps and all of the billboards go live, we also find out that Escape the Night will be premiering for the very, very first time at VidCon. They tell us that they're going to be putting the Escape the Night banner across this entire building. I'm so happy. And then I find out that not only that, but Escape the Night is actually premiering in the main room, the biggest part of VidCon, where thousands of people gather. I am so excited to go to VidCon because now I am one of 9, 10 people that VidCon is literally themed around. And now I'm getting thousands of tweets like, I can't wait to meet you at VidCon. And so a few weeks before VidCon comes around and VidCon announces the featured creator lineup. I'm sure that by this story, you see where this is going. For the second year in a row, VidCon decided that they were not going to make me a featured creator. I will not even begin to explain to you the devastation that I felt.
I'm sure this was devastating, clearly. It makes me wonder, though, if she was promised a spot, what could have caused them to change their minds? She is popular but very problematic. As we know, narcissists aren't great with criticism and rejection.
In my career, that is definitely top 5, top 3 even, devastating moment. And so immediately we call VidCon so angry saying, hey, if you're gonna plaster my face all over this event, why can't you give me a stupid plastic badge so that this year is in hell like last year's hell that you put me through. And so we say all of this to VidCon, and they basically just say like one little sentence back to Jordan, like, once she gets here, once she gets to VidCon, we'll figure it out. And so I show up to VidCon. I already know how it's gonna be. And so of course, VidCon didn't give me a hotel again this year, even though they gave all of their featured creators a hotel. Think about how crazy that is. They could put my face on their hotel, but they couldn't give me a room in the hotel, even though they could give every single other featured creator a room.
She is not wrong this time. The CEO of VidCon later stated, "We were being conservative because of some of the things that Tana had done and said in the past. But we should have either had her there or not that shitty in-between thing."
I'm not saying that they don't deserve it just as much as me, but how are you gonna put my face on a hotel and then say, oh no, but you're not good enough to stay here? But luckily I was sharing a room with some friends from my network who had a room at the hotel. So I show up with my bag, I walk into the lobby with all of my friends that are featured creators. A giant mob starts to happen. And so I'm just trying to get up to my room. I rush up to the room. Everything's fine at this point, and I'm low-key thinking to myself, like, wow, I just got mobbed and VidCon didn't do anything. Like, maybe they're being a little nicer to me. But no. The second I get up to my room, my manager immediately begins receiving emails and texts and calls about how I'm already causing a ruckus and VidCon is so upset. Like, this is no longer my fault. It never was, but now it's really not my fault.
Again, she is right. This is not her fault. Of course, nothing makes a narcissist happier than when they are right and someone else is wrong. And they generally do not handle themselves gracefully.
Now I get ready and I have to go do this quick interview, and then I'm going to do this giant panel for Escape the Night. I'm maneuvering everywhere with shirts over my head and blankets over my head. So I somehow make it to the back of my panel. We walk out on stage. All of us are on this stage. And so we do this panel. It's incredible. It's a great time. The audience is incredible. I'm still super happy. I'm trying to focus on the... So I look at the security guard and I'm like, fine. So you want me to wait out there? And they're like, well, yeah, you're not a feature creator. Go wait out there. And immediately that causes extreme chaos. But what can I do?
She was put in a bad spot, absolutely. Her response, however, is never to find a quiet spot or try and reasonably talk to anyone in charge. She opts to plop herself in the middle of the crowd and cause a commotion again.
So that's what I do. I sit there, I start meeting people, I start taking photos. Not even 5 minutes go by, and that same little pesky man comes into the crowd and he grabs my arm and he pulls me out of the crowd. The CEO of VidCon grabs me by my arm. And so he pulls me out of the crowd, and I look at him. And at this point, I'm like, yo, I know what you're gonna say, dude. You put my face everywhere, you book me for 20 plus things that I'm supposed to do with my fans, but then when I try to go to them and chaos happens, you come and you treat me really, really poorly. And I just wanna let you know it's my birthday, and that hurts my feelings so badly. And this could all be so simple if you would just let me become a featured creator. Please make this easy. There is no need to fight right now. You can walk up on stage afterwards, you give me an honorary badge or whatever and everything could be fine. Please. And if I've disrespected you in any way or caused anything that has upset you, I want you to know it wasn't intentional, and I'm still so incredibly sorry, whether I agree with you guys' motives or anything like that.
She switches from belligerent to the sweet young victim girl quite easily. Narcissists use people to get what they want.
And this guy looks at me and he goes, I had my walkie-talkie in and I wasn't listening to anything that you were saying, nor do I give a at all. You're banned from this event. He goes to put his hand on my arm again and start talking to me, and he's like, security's gonna escort you out. You're banned. We're gonna charge you with trespassing. There's nothing that we can do. You did this last year and you're gonna do it again. It's absolutely insane that you think that this is acceptable. And so my manager comes over not knowing that this is the CEO of VidCon, and they start going back and forth, and I'm bawling my eyes out in front of all of these fans who are just recording it. If anybody has the video, post it to fucking YouTube. Please, I want someone to call me a liar. Please!
Damn. Wait, that was TANA MONGEAU. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look at that. They can't get her out.
It is obvious from the clip the event was at full fault for this. They knew she would be popular whether she was a featured creator or not. They were responsible for her and the fans' safety.
And don't get me wrong, I'm upset and I'm crying. But there's upset and crying, Tana, and there is Oscar award winning, Grammy nominated. If you're gonna upset me, I'm gonna put on a show for you, bitch.
Narcissists do like to put on a good show, especially by means of a huge entitled tantrum.
Flailing my arms, screaming and crying at this guy for the next 2 hours. Please, 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 for hours and hours. While he's just going back and forth like, you're being escorted off the property. We want nothing to do with you. Back and forth and back and forth. And finally I look at him and I'm like, listen, dude, you, this. I've been so nice, but can't you just be a human for 1 second?
In her delusion, she has been nothing but nice, and he isn't even human. After 2 more hours of begging and insulting, she still isn't getting her way. It's clearly inhuman.
But every year you guys do everything in your power to make it hell for me. But only after I promote the shit out of your event. And don't you think that's f***ed up? And he looks at me and he's like, I might think it's f***ed up, but let's be real here. VidCon as a whole doesn't care. Your face is out there and we sell the tickets and all you do is cause a disruption and we want you out. Can you at least tell me why? And so we start walking to the elevator and he looks at me and he's like, you're not a feature creator this year because of the chaos you caused last year. All you do is cause chaos, Tana. Maybe Playlist Live Orlando or something like that would be better for you.
Okay, that's about as much of that as I can bear. It has got to be exhausting being a narcissist. Thank you all for watching. Click like if you like and don't forget to subscribe. Only about half of you guys have subscribed. Hey, it's free. If you want to get even more into our community, click the little join button and become a member. You get some fun perks and we have a great time. Okay, until next time, be kind and hasta luego.